Good morning. It's 5:30 a.m. on Friday, the 23rd of May, 2025. And we're live on YouTube. What are the chances? Well, lately, all bets are off, right? I am making a push towards the end of the month to try to salvage my statistics for YouTube in all categories. We'll just put it that way. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, and I've got my first cup of coffee. Good stuff. So I've got a little bit of a plan this morning, and if we veer off from that plan, I'm fine with it as well. I need to reset something here real quick so that we can actually make the demo work. But I think I've got a plan B as well. Maybe. Or we might be doing a slightly different demo. So what I wanted to talk about today, and we'll see if the demo cooperates or not in a few minutes. Due to the way, due to several factors, we'll put it this way. First of which is following Flathub via Fresh RSS. So I have more visibility into what is coming out as far as FlatPak apps on Linux, right? I should just say FlatPak apps because they don't run on any other platform. Many times what I'm seeing is these FlatPak apps are community packaged apps that are available in other places or in other package formats for Linux, but maybe not an official FlatPak from the developer, which hopefully some of these developers will see the light over the coming year or two and just get on the bandwagon and start using universal packaging, whether that's FlatPak, Snap, or App Image. My preference, honestly, is a combination of App Image and FlatPak. I'm going to revisit Snaps at some future point in time, but my experience with them up to this point has been a little hit and miss, shall we say. And apparently that's the catchphrase of the morning, shall we say. C'est la vie. Hey, it's all good. So why was I up at 4 a.m.? I guess that's a good story to tell to start things off today. So yesterday was a Charlie Foxtrot to an extent. So I got up thinking that I had a dentist appointment to get my permanent crown put in at 9:30. Well, shame on me for not double checking the verification message from my dentist. And it's actually next week, Wednesday. So I ended up at the dentist office. I paid the bill, and picked up breakfast, and I came back home and worked for, I don't know, an hour. And then my father showed up and we talked, and he's finally got hit with the text messages claiming that he owes tolls for states that he's never been to He doesn't have a transponder on his vehicle. So, yeah. Nor does he generally send or receive text messages. So there's that. Dealing with aging parents is some days a trip. It's some days it's a trip, and no previous generation um, has had to deal with parents and electronics like my generation has. So, um, yeah, these millennials, they claim, oh, we were the first generation that grew up with computers. Well, f that. um, there was a lot of Gen X that grew up with computers. They might be the first internet native generation, but Gen X, a lot of us grew up with computers, either exposed to them at school or even if our parents weren't tech savvy, they saw enough uh, promise in them to have them in the home early. So, yeah, I don't buy the claims of the millennials on that um, topic, right? Okay, let's see if this demo is going to work or not. Okay, well, let's try it this way. This might actually work. All right, so let me get this restarted. And then maybe we can have some fun, right? I know my rants are sometimes entertaining, but they are just that, rants. Oh, not this issue again. Oh, for crying out loud. All right. Well, I guess we're going to bear with doing it this way. Okay. So if we come over here to Proxmox, I don't have all my machines back up and running yet. So this is how we're going to do the demo this morning, right? So we're going to do two things. We are going to open up the Cosmic App Store on one desktop. And we're going to open up Firefox on the next one. Why are we opening Firefox? Well, excuse me. We're opening Firefox because we are going to spend some time on Flathub. I'll make that a little bit bigger so people can see it, hopefully. So Flathub is the website, I guess you could say, distribution point for many Flathub applications or FlatPak applications. And one of the nice things that Flathub has available is they've got some categories: trending, popular, new, and updated. So we can look at the trending, we can, get an idea what's trending. But what I'm more interested in right now is what is new, what is sort of cutting edge, new to FlatPak, and maybe we can try out a few of these, right? So let's see. Download manager, hardware accelerated GPU terminal. Well, that's not going to do me much good in a virtual machine. Packet, share files easily. What's Packet? So that appears to be incoming transfer. So it appears to be like an airdrop type application. Um, this is last updated 5 days ago, version 0.1.2. Send and receive files wirelessly with Android devices using QuickShare or another device with Packet installed. Okay, so this is sort of a bridge between Linux and Android, right? I appreciate uh, attempts to do this. Oh, there's actually an update yesterday to 0.1.4. I appreciate attempts to do this. However, as you've probably seen before, come here. I've already sort of standardized on local send, right? So I don't have my phone with me right now. It's on the charger. But local send has the advantage of being, for starters, local. It's got to be on the same network. It can work if you're using Tailscale, Zero Tier, etc., Netbird, Twingate, Hamachi, what have you, right? You can use it over a VPN, whatever. So local send is nice because it's cross platform. Linux, Mac OS, Windows, Android, iOS covers all your bases, every combination thereof, right? And if we were to send, it does give you the option. Was it manual sending? No, not that. So we'll select a file. We'll just grab a PDF. And we've got multiple options to send. You can share via link, multiple recipients. And with manual sending, you've got the option to do IP address. So, in the cases where you cannot automatically detect the other device running local send, you can manually specify the IP address and make it happen. And frankly, while I appreciate Packet, it does say it's an implementation of the Google Quick Share protocol, and therein lies an underlying issue in my book. I don't know, and I'm not enough of a programmer to read through the code and determine what, if anything, Google is sniffing during a transfer, right? So, anyway. Z preview, a high performance code editor. That could be interesting, right? So, what if we came up here and we searched for Z? And Z is, in fact, available for Pop! OS. So why am I using Pop! OS for this test? Well, this is the Cosmic Preview 7 or Alpha 7, I guess it is technically. And I figured that if I put it through its paces a little bit, that wouldn't be a bad thing. So grab your coffee cup if you got one, and we'll give this a minute to install. Well, I guess while we're waiting for that, we can come back down here and see what else we might be interested in. Ding Talk, an intelligent working platform. Unison, file synchronizer. So I always like looking at some of this stuff and just seeing what is new and interesting to me. Um, and one nice thing I do like about Flathub is that you can link to the actual project page. You can see, when was the last update? This was November 5th, 2024. But it seems to be a relatively mature project at version 2.5, 3.7. And so, would I like to see another more recent update? Sure. I'd like to see like quarterly updates on most software, unless it's a security update that needs to be pushed out quicker, right? Um, but hey, it's all good. We're just being explorers this morning. This takes me back to my days or nights, which were more likely the case at the time, back in the 90s on dial-up, when I was spending time on my Amiga computer in during the days of the early public internet, uh, spending time on Aminet or Aminet or whatever you want to call it. And this was basically an early repository of Amiga software. So I don't even know if that's still live these days, but just for the sake of argument, Aminet.net. So this looks a whole lot different than it did 30 years ago, but you still get packages that can run on a computer that was released in 1985, 40 years ago, just about 40 years ago. Even to the point where you've got an SSH2 implementation for the Amiga, and you can look at the README file. So the 68,000, it'll run on a very old computer. Now, whether you've got a network device on that old computer is the next question. So, there are some requirements that you have to meet in order to make it run on those old machines, but it is possible if you throw money at the problem and um you, you know uh you can make it happen. So, let's jump back to Zed. And will it open the first time? Well, we clicked open. Let's try launching it this way. Unsupported GPU. Oh yeah, that's right. Zed is GPU accelerated, so it's not going to run well in a VM, right? All right. No harm, no foul. We'll move on to something else, right? Let's see. More new applications. Let's see. WebKit Word, rich text editor using WebKit. Okay, interesting. PickGuard Pro, your pictures, your signature. What exactly does that do for us? Your pictures, your signature. Introducing PickGuard Pro, the ultimate solution for security and customizing your digital photos. With our app, you can easily add watermarks to your images to protect your creative work and maintain your privacy. Yeah, that's an interesting application. I don't have any pictures on this machine though, so oops, I didn't want to do that necessarily, but we'll relaunch Firefox. Set as default. And can we do Control-Shift-T? Yes, and we've got Flathub back. Okay, what else? What else? We have Doom 64EX Plus. Continuation of Doom 64EX. Okay, that's fair. 2D task board. Task management productivity app with markdown support. Typhoon. The weather application. Big surprise. Cosmic Ding. Manage your bookmarks. So I'm guessing well, maybe I guessed wrong. A client to manage your it is right. Client to manage your LinkedIn bookmarks. So this is interesting. So Cosmic Ding. Let's give this a shot because I've got a way to test this. Cosmic Ding. So I just happen to have on PicoPods, I happen to have an instance of LinkedIn running, which I think I've talked about before. And so basically this is a start. It's not complete by any stretch, but it's a start of a bunch of helpful bookmarks that I've assembled over time. So like here's some Camtasia stuff. Decrapify for Windows 11 mainly. So you know, I've tried to add these in here and tag them so that I've got a better chance of finding stuff in the future. The reason I like this is because, for instance, I also added a section with a tag for work. So this is all stuff related to the library. Much of it is on the local network at the library. So I can't reach it from here, or I have to have a login that I've only got at work in order to access some of it. So like the Proxmox and the Uptime Kuma, it's all stuff on the local network at the library. But putting it here makes it easy for me to access it on different machines at the library because I can log into the LinkedIn instance and you know it's all good. So if we come back to Cosmic Ding. See if this will open this way. Cosmic Ding. So it obviously, or likely, anyways, is built for the Cosmic Desktop, which is great. So add account. My LinkedIn. So I have to grab an API key. So we are going to look at this here. This is beneficialmongoose.picapod.net. Okay, and so you're going to look at me for a moment while I grab the API key off camera. And let's do settings, general. Where's the API key? Settings, integrations. That's probably it. REST API. Copy. See if we are actually going to be able to paste it into Cosmic. No, so I'm going to have to type that. Okay, bear with me a moment. No. Come back here. Save. Failed to add account. Okay. E4. Provided URL is not valid. Well, I wish they gave you, and they don't even give you a way to save the API key or copy it out of that. Okay, so well, this might be a bust. This might be a bust. Because what they've failed to do in this application, I guess I should put it back on screen. What they've failed to do in this application is give you help. So I got one other idea. Let's look at this one more time. Do slash bookmarks. Well, we'll try this one more time. Try this one more time and see if we can make it work. Add account. Picapod is not plural. Okay, now let's see if 6. No, okay, so one other thing I can try. Failed to add account, and it doesn't display the message long enough to actually read it. Okay, so this is a bust. I think the application is interesting conceptually, but it is not really working the way it's supposed to. So, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, this chat overlay feature in StreamYard is in beta right now. And so it's showing the comments out of order. So the very last comment that came in was my good morning. So the actual order was the two from Nerd 45. And then my Wide Awake at 4 a.m. and Good Morning was the last one. And so obviously they're out of order, which I find to be interesting. Now, when I was testing with the overlay before, it was not displaying anything that was populated before the overlay was turned on. So that's kind of interesting, right? Okay, so let's go back. Cosmic Ding is sort of a bust at this point. I will probably retest that later and maybe do a short video on it. Not a short per se, but a short length, long form, widescreen 16:9 video. A friendly assistant with LLM. What is that? That's probably an Electron app that's a wrapper around one of the AI models. Okay. LLM is a versatile LLM client that connects seamlessly with OpenAI API compatible services. Effortlessly create and switch between multiple custom prompts to match your needs. Open source and cross platform. Puts control in your hands with your own API key. Without it, you can't use the app. Right. So at this point, I am not in possession of any API keys for any of the LLMs out there. So that's not going to be able to be tested. MQTTY. That's an interesting concept. This is an MQTT client. Saying it's a development tool with the purpose of debugging and testing IoT applications that make use of the MQTT protocol. This is interesting. This could be useful for future projects. Let's see. On Windows, the application did not rendered. Need to check their grammar there. Properly on old Intel iGPU by default, enable software rendering Cairo. Users can opt in to use hardware acceleration. So this has to be cross-platform if it's talking about Windows. So let's take a look at the project. Last updated 2 weeks ago. It's not at a 1.0 release yet. Native MQTT GUI client written in Rust. It's all the rage today to write stuff in Rust. So, hey, it's all good, right? I don't have to be to work until 9:30 a.m., so I don't know how long this is going to go. I may take a pause in a few minutes and go grab a slice of pizza out of the refrigerator. Why not have for breakfast what I had for dinner last night? You know? So available on Windows 10 and 11 and on Flathub. They don't even mention Linux. It's just Flathub. Which I guess is fine. Okay, first cup is down. Now I bring out the Yeti. Couldn't let the coffee go to waste, right? And instead of getting up and running to the kitchen to get another cup, why not just bring the Yeti in and keep going, right? And we have 3 people watching this crazy early morning stream. It is 6:10 a.m. on May 23rd, 2025. Happy Friday to everybody. Now, if you could do me a solid, smash that like button, like the video. Please. It's all good. 6:10 a.m., 6:11 a.m. now. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation screen here. I don't have a message queue server running on my network currently, so that's going to be a project for another day. I do like the concept of it, though. Simple video player for playing SER files used for solar, lunar, and planetary astronomy imaging. Interesting. Zeta Office Productivity Suite. We'll pass on that. Mango Juice. Graphical configurator for Mango HUD. No clue what that is. All right. So what else? What else have we got? Key Vault, Secure 2FA, and one-time password authentication manager. Nice to see that they've got some apps on Linux to do this now. That could be handy in the future. Let's see. App control, open interface, mini KVM. Sure. Yeah, this could be interpreted multiple ways if I actually read the description, so I'm going to pass on it. Barcode scanner. That could be interesting. Scan and create QR codes. Scan QR codes with your camera on phones and laptops, and create your own for easily sharing data between devices. So let's take a look at the project. Barcode scanner. So install on Linux, other platforms. It's available on Android. So scan QR codes with your camera on phones and laptops and create your own for easily sharing data between devices. Linux, F-Droid, Flathub, and the Snap Store as well. Okay, releases 25.04.1 and 25.04.0. Interesting numbering scheme. Sure. Appears to be a KDE app. Since we're running Cosmic, I'm going to skip that one for now. JD System Monitor. Well, sure, why not? Let's give it a shot. Oh, yeah, that's not the way I wanted to do that. Let's JD system monitor. Here we go. Install. Why not? Why not? All right, so let's just do this right from the launcher. And hey, look at this. Is it? Okay, so booted at 5:37 a.m. All right, that's fair. It's got different release information about the distribution. That's kind of cool. Processes, performance. All right, that's fair. Services, running FlatPaks. That's fair. Auto start. Mounts, installed packages, which is going to be a lot of them. Users and system configuration. So yeah, that's a nifty little settings app. Nifty little settings app. So I'm curious to see. It is version 1.0, built 27 days ago. I always, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I always like going to the project pages and taking a look. And I know there's been a lot of these apps that start with JD lately, so I'm at least peripherally aware of the availability of these apps. So there's a Minecraft launcher, there's JD App Stream Edit, NVT Explorer, Desktop Entry Edit, FlatPak Snapshot. Yeah, so there's a bunch of these apps that could be useful. So maybe we'll do a video and just do a install and looking at all of the JD apps and just get them a little bit of recognition. So yeah, this is so he's an open source developer, loves Linux, mainly codes in Python. That's cool. A blog. This is from April 24th of this year. The developer's name is Jacob. So JD is Jacob Dev. So yeah. I I like it. I I think it's cool that a single developer is pushing all these different apps, uh, but therein lies does lie an issue, and one that people don't always take into consideration. Uh, People talk about a single point of failure on a network. Sure, if you've got only one ISP, you've got a single point of failure. Even if you've got um, load balance stuff going on behind it, and you've got, multiple servers and this and that and the other thing. If you've only got one ISP, then you've got a single point of failure. Um, Likewise, if you've got applications that you rely on that only have one developer, you've got a single point of failure. Developer dies, you got to switch to a different application. Maybe not immediately, but you either have to hope that somebody forks the application and continues developing it, or you got to switch to something else. So, uh, yeah. Still, I give this developer Jacob a lot of credit for doing what he's doing, and you know, uh, since I'll say, dabbled with Python in the past, I am interested in perhaps grabbing the source code of one of these applications and just see if there's anything that I can make sense of in the code, and maybe I can help squash some bugs. Um, I wouldn't mind getting back into doing a little bit of coding, but my if I were to do that, my real interest is more things like Ansible and giving Open Tofu a spin for a Terraform type automations. Uh, it's the idea being automation here, right? Rather than writing traditional programs. So, three people watching. Happy Friday to everybody. And for all of the viewers in the US of A, have a safe Memorial Day weekend. If you're traveling, it's yeah, we'll just leave it there. Hopefully people are just gonna chill and do like a cookout or something and call it a day, but you never know. All right, let's see what else we can dabble with this morning. All right. Let's see. AI reacts. AI reads your birth chart. No thanks. Sound editor, Doom, action, calculate your BMI. Try to survive the apocalypse. That's got to be a game. um, Custom coin collecting catalog. Interesting. Image comparison with magnifier. Meshtastic. Open Medola. Wing of Medola reimplementation. All right. I don't know what Wing of Medola is. I'm assuming a game of some variety. Lexi, build your own dictionary. LACT, control your graphics card. So what type of graphics cards does this actually work with? LACT lets you configure and monitor your AMD, NVIDIA, or Intel GPU on Linux. This will be useful on my machine downstairs. One of my weekend projects over Memorial Day weekend is to take the two really old AMD graphics cards out of my one of my desktop machines downstairs and put in the Intel Arc GPU that is still in the box. I have to admit, it's still in the box. I'd love to see what Pop OS can do on, I wouldn't call it a modern machine necessarily, but a machine with a relatively recent graphics card, if not a weaker, relatively recent graphics card. It is a relatively recent card nonetheless. So that is one of my pet projects for the weekend, along with moving some furniture and a bunch of other odds and ends that I need to attend to. Since I'm still sort of cleaning up the mess from the power outage, the extended power outage. So we've been live almost an hour. It's almost 6:30 a.m. And yeah, this I think will be an interesting application to play with later on a physical machine. Not going to do a lot of good in a VM unless you're passing through a graphics card of some variety, which at this point I'm not. Okay. Tarot Caster. Great. Rune Master. Q Speakers. Media Player. What is this? Solitaire. I don't know what that is. It looks different. We'll skip that one. Learn 6502 assembly language. Oh, well, that's a useful skill to have these days. Excel converter, convert images. NetXMS, control your network monitoring. Well, let's see. Unverified. Guessing you have to have a server. Now, the app is a desktop client for accessing NetXMS version 5.2.x server. So what can we do? NetXMS. Do we have a way to do this as an appliance easily and quickly that we can do in the next 45 minutes, let's say? Okay, let's see. Pricing downloads from May 20th. Debian and Ubuntu. Fedora, Windows, client binaries, agent binaries, integration tool. Interesting. Source code, Java API, uses Java. Yuck. Let's veto that one. I'm not interested in setting all that stuff up. Archive keep. Archive files the easy way. All right, this is seems easy enough. Why not? I may as well turn off the chat overlay since nobody's actually chatting. I don't blame you. You're probably half awake, sipping coffee. Why not? Okay, so let's go to applications, archive keep. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's bring back archive keep. Well, obviously it's not well optimized for Cosmic Desktop. It's not even letting me drag the window anywhere. Add local repository. Repository directory. And something is not right. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Cancel button works. Not impressed so far. Yep. Yep. Local storages, external storages, online storages, info. Welcome to Archive Keep, personal archivation, file synchronization and replication across multiple targets or multiple storages, repositories. Fingerprint is created for each file added to an archive. Okay. In concept, it's nice. Add local file repository. Change. Yeah, that's a bust. Well, we'll get rid of that. Not terribly impressed. Okay, so let's see what else we can do here. Rabbit remote control software. Play music from Nextcloud. Okay, that's a cool idea. Cherry Studio, powerful AI assistant for producer. Desktop customization made easy. I'm guessing that's probably for GNOME. Yep. GNOME shell, GTK 3.4 icon, and cursor themes, as well as wallpapers. Not gonna guarantee it'll run in Cosmic. Let's look at the project website, just for the sake of argument. Because, hey, we're just exploring this morning, right? We are exploring the great unknown quantities of applications and qualities of applications. Wardrobe has not been tested for any desktop environments other than GNOME, so do not expect it to fully work on Cinnamon, XFCE, etc. Okay, so we can veto that one right now. Let's see. All right. What else do we have? Local translate. Password manager. Mind map. Software is primarily designed for Chinese locale. Okay, well, we don't need that. Let's see. MB client. Simple live. Watch live stream in a simple way. Simplified Chinese. Well, all right. Herein exists another issue with Flathub. So I'd like to see the ability to filter by desktop environment and language. So I can jettison all the stuff that I'll never use because I don't speak or read Chinese, and specify English and whatever desktop. So with Cosmic being in alpha right now, hopefully a beta is on its way in late May or early June. But with Cosmic being in alpha at the moment, I'm not sure that Flathub would want to support that, or it might be listed as experimental. I'm not sure, but I have not seen a way. And while the options to, let me jump back here a minute. The options to filter trending, popular, new, and updated, that's useful to a point, but then you should be able to further filter down English only apps or apps that are in English or can be in English if they support multiple languages. And by desktop, because let's face it, there are more than one. There are more desktop environments on Linux, which makes something like this a little bit more daunting of a task, right? Maybe it's maybe there's an opportunity here, right? Where Flathub is going to list um, as many FlatPak apps as possible that they might be the repository for. Uh, Maybe there exists an opportunity here to um, do essentially a subset of FlatHub that might be featured apps, tested apps. I don't know how you'd want to approach it exactly. But have that information easily available so that at a glance, um, you can see if it's going to run on your system and be in a language that you can comprehend. So, I do need to take a brief intermission to get up and do something. I will be back in a couple minutes. And so I'll put on the music again and we shall return. More to come. All right, we're back. Um, got up to get a quick bite to eat. Cold pizza on a Friday morning. Breakfast of champions. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Nobody new has joined the chat. That's fine. It's early. It's all right. Let's go back to the task at hand. Um, so before the intermission, for anybody that might be skipping around in the video or watching the replay, we were talking about, or I was talking about the issue with Flathub, where they don't give you a lot of filtering options. So you know, it's a great resource. Don't get me wrong, and obviously a lot of thought was put into the design of this and how to keep it simple and not intimidate new users which may be accessing it, right? um but is there an opportunity for like curated flathub.org or something similar, um where you know a person or a group could put together the best of the best, um hitting the check boxes. It's in English, it's tested on a specific platform, it's X, Y, and Z, whatever criteria are set up so that you know more advanced users, more technically savvy users that want to filter quickly and not just doom scroll all the applications that are listed in FlatHub, there's an opportunity there to do that, right? There's an option there to do that. So, don't get me wrong, I'm not um I'm not downplaying what FlatHub has accomplished here. In many ways, I think this is a great resource. There are a few ways it could be better. Now, the challenge always comes down to, can you add options while keeping the design as simple as possible? And that is a question I don't have an answer to. Because quite simply, my approach, if I were going to put something like this together, would be one of a number of ways this could be done, right? And maybe this is something that I will think on over the weekend, right? So I don't necessarily want to build a new website around this idea. However, I have been wanting to rebuild my blog site, excuse me, with a little bit, excuse me again, a little bit of a different focus and make some um, files available in such a fashion that it's either a membership thing or it's um, only available with a link from a YouTube video or, some such thing or a combination thereof, right? Um, so I could see putting together a spreadsheet, at least of FlatPak apps that I use. And, it just be a spreadsheet or a text document exported to PDF and, update it bi-yearly or quarterly, perhaps. And, just kind of um, do it that way, right? Um, I'll have to think on that one. It's always interesting streaming first thing in the morning because sometimes ideas hit you and you don't know quite what to do with it. And we're back up to 3 viewers. So welcome number 3. Um, say hello if you are able. So anyway, Flathub is there. It's useful. It's a good resource. Sometimes you want to do more than just um, work through the app store on your um, distribution. Sometimes you don't know exactly what you're looking for or what its name is going to be. And, you know, or if there's something new out there that might pique your interest. So, you know, FlatHub has its place. The app stores have their place. Um, I think in the app stores, they might be pulling the description right from FlatHub. I'm not entirely sure. So anyway, I mean, I think Explore has some interesting stuff, especially once you get into Made for Cosmic. These are probably really safe apps to play with. Um, Tweaks might be fun. That went quick. So color schemes installed. Save current, import, find color schemes. I kind of like that. Deep purple. There we go. That's good. Import. And look at that. It changed to the deep purple. And I don't mind that. Dock. Padding. That doesn't appear to do much. Spacing. It doesn't appear to do much. Panel. Show panel. Hide panel. padding, spacing, no, layouts, Cosmic, Mac OS, Windows, Ubuntu. Let's do Mac OS. Hey, I kind of dig that. Go back to Cosmic. Gives you a bar all the way across, but the icons are centered. Let's just do Mac OS. Let's just do that right off. Snapshots, application opened, restore snapshot. Sure. Okay. About version 0.1.3. Cool. I'm okay with that. That's useful. That's nice. Could be a little more contrast on the colors, but until I get sick of purple, then I will leave it here. Go back here, made for Cosmic. Let's see. View system information. Cosmic Ding, which I think we looked at earlier. Cosmic Store, Media Player, Simple Money Manager. Not a huge amount of made for Cosmic apps yet. Quick web apps. Quick web apps written with love and libcosmic. Turn any URL into a web app, running in a separate window of any browser installed on your system. Selected according to your preference. Interesting. I doubt we're going to have updates because I did that early this morning before starting the stream. All applications are up to date. Okay, so we're good there. So, yeah, oh, we've got some artifacting down here. That's not good. So let's switch layout back to Cosmic. Just for the sake of argument and keeping things as stable as possible. I'm rethinking my color theme. The dark black might be a little better. Yeah, it's at least got a little more contrast. So, hey, it's all good. I think that's where we want to stop today. We'll go ahead and shut this down. And yeah. All right, everybody. I know it's early. I know people may not feel like being too social this time of day. But I set a goal to stream this morning and I've met that goal. So it has been crossed off on my to-do list. So Um, but I've got a couple of things I do need to get done this morning, and time's a wasting. It's 7 o'clock. I need to have my trash out by the edge of the road by 8. So I'm going to let everybody go and everybody have a good morning. I'm only going into work for a couple hours today. I'd prefer not to be going in at all, but hey, that's the price you pay, right? Um, so I will likely be streaming again later today, at some point. I'm not entirely sure when, or from where in the building. I may very well do a stream from downstairs now that I've got my full internet connection available to me. I think it'll be interesting to start doing streams from different locations in the building. And that will probably be one of my pushes going into, summer. I guess we kind of skipped spring in Michigan this year again, which is it is what it is. I'm not going to say it's all right. It is what it is. Um, I I'm interested to see if over the weekend I can't get caught back up on doing um, midweek news, recording midweek news on Sundays. Um, and I kind of want to go back and build out sort of highlight reels. I'm going to keep the widescreen aspect ratio. But what my thought is, which I again, repurpose your own content, right? Um, my thought is to take and do like a monthly highlight reel. And I think this could be fun. Um, I doubt they will get a lot of views, but um, taking this step might make it easier for me to do some future projects that I've been tossing around in my head. So I assure you, we are leading to something. Um, where and what, I'm not sure what form that's going to take entirely, but I've got some things brewing that I think will be um, interesting. So, I guess on that note, I'm going to wrap this for the morning. Again, I will likely be back later today, and hey, it's all good. But maybe I'm going to get a corner on the market streaming at 5:30 in the morning Eastern time, Eastern US time. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, especially if it sets me up to um, be able to get other things done during the day if I start my day early like this. So, on that note, everybody have a wonderful day. And if I don't see you in my other videos over the weekend, then have a safe Memorial Day weekend. And hopefully, I'll see you next week. But for those that are coming back, great. I'll see you later today and over the course of the weekend for more streams and probably some recorded videos and maybe even a few shorts thrown in just because. Enjoy your day.